Welcome to Up, and Away, the restaurant marketing podcast, saving the world from bad marketing, brought to you by Kubrick's, the all-in-one platform for loyalty and customer engagement. In today's topic, we are going to talk about restaurants and reviews, gaining trust, keeping your customers. We have Arun. He's the founder and CEO of Kubrick's. He's a tech veteran with over 2 decades of experience before Kubrick's. He was the principal data scientist and architect for developing Starbucks' personalized customer engagement platform. And me, I'm Rev Ciancio. I'm a hospitality marketing consultant, a tech evangelist, a content creator, a co-founder, and a CMO of Handcraft Burgers Brew in New York City. I also kind of lost my voice last night at our company party, so I apologize for that. But let's not talk about what I did. Let's talk about what's happening at your restaurant. If somebody walked up to you in your restaurant and said, everything was great, would you stare at them blankly and give them Pikachu face? No, you would say thank you, right? Likewise, if somebody had a bad experience, maybe, like a glass was chipped, you forgot their blue cheese, server was rude. Again, would you stare at them blankly in the face? No. What would you do? You would say, I'm sorry, and you would do a win back. Well, when somebody leaves a review for your restaurant on a site like Google or Yelp, wouldn't you do the same? Wouldn't you respond to them? You would, yes, because that's just extending your good hospitality. Well, that's what happens to restaurants on a daily basis. One wrong move, your ratings take a hit, right? And most times the ratings take a hit despite getting everything right. Some people just want to leave 1-star reviews. What can I tell you? And my favorite is when you get a 3-star review and they don't leave any words. You just get 3 stars. You're like, this was like the okay-ish thing ever. I'm not sure. Anyway, in this episode, we're going to deep dive into the world of online reviews. We'll discuss strategies to manage your online reputation, how to turn negative reviews into positive experiences, how to leverage positive reviews to attract new customers, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So grab an espresso, settle in, and let's talk about the good, the bad, and the best of online reviews. Arun, I'm going to ask you the first question. I know we had a different plan, but I'm going to ask you the first question. When was the last time you left a review for a restaurant?
I think every time I do online ordering, a lot of times when I say, hey, I was experienced, I do. But did I give a descriptive review? Not often. Only if I'm angry with it, then only I do a descriptive review. Most of the time, I just leave a rating like 4-star, 5-star, etc. If it's 1 star, I'm going to vent my anger. I'm going to write a paragraph about it.
Appreciated, man. So what you're saying is you're like most people, except you're a little nicer on the star giving.
Yeah. And also when I check out a new restaurant and see, when I'm in a new town and want to check out restaurants, I actually eliminate the 5-star reviews and then 1-star reviews. I know that there are extremes, and I just look at the 3-star reviews. That gives me an honest idea what it is, and I want to know if something is bad, what is bad, right? And is that bad something I can live with? If they say that the ambience is not that good, I'm okay, I can live with that, right? So that's why I typically go about it.
Amen. I don't understand 3-star reviews. Like it was so okay that you had to tell everybody it was how okay it was.
Okay. So how about do you actually at your restaurant, Handcraft Burgers, do you actually just take time to respond to reviews, go through the reviews and understand it?
I love this question, and I'm grateful for you asking it. Thank you. Yes, we reply to every single review on every single platform, every single time. We reply on Grubhub, we reply on DoorDash, we reply on Uber Eats, even though we don't get a ton of orders there. And we reply to every single Google, Yelp, and TripAdvisor review we get. And not only do we reply to every single review, now that I'm taking a humble brag, we actually reply in the native language it was written in. My burger shop is in a very touristy area, Bryant Park, New York City. So we get a lot of people from Germany and overseas and Spain, and we get a lot of French people and Italian people. And when they write their review in their native language, we actually respond in their native language or their native language.
Interesting. Okay.
It's a lot easier than people think it is. You know what our secret is? Can you guess?
Yeah. Do you have something automated then?
No, Google Translate.
We do. Yeah. I know.
We copy it, we put it into Google Translate, we go, okay, we get that. And then we write what our reply would be in English. We then put it into Google Translate. And we always say in there, apologies if my Italian is not perfect. I'm using Google Translate. People love it. It's so easy.
That's authentic. So I think the question is, why should we take time to, as a restaurant, take time to go through the reviews and reply it? And what other actions we can do in addition to responding to the reviews? Like, can we gather some insights? What else we can do with that?
Sure. So sometimes I feel like I'm beating a dead horse when somebody asks me, like, oh, why should I reply to reviews? I think it's an obvious thing. So to some people, it's not. And for those that need convincing, there's a ton of available benefits to replying reviews. Okay. First of all, this has been proven by Harvard Business Review like 100 times. Businesses that reply to reviews get more positive reviews. So by simply replying to every review, you will get more than 4 and 5 stars. And I think the stat is like 10%. So by simply saying thank you to a 5-star review, you will just get more 5-star reviews. And that's valuable on its own. So that's number one reason. And number two, it's to create a connection with a guest, right? And I think especially in the environment we're now, 2024, 2025, where we have inflation and prices gone up and cost of goods and yada, 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 and everything's more expensive. Right now, the experience of dining out is more important than it's ever been, right? I need to have it's not just about good food. It's not just about convenience. It's about experience, right? And part of that is creating connection. Where I live, you'll laugh. Okay. I live in a little town in New Jersey. It's 3.1 miles. It's tiny, right? We have 18,000 people that live in this town, and we have 7 pizza places. Now, we are in North Jersey, so it's not that big a surprise, but there are 7 pizza places in this town. How do you think most people pick the pizza place they like?
Reviews.
It's the connection they have with the business, right?
Yeah.
It's absolutely the connection. And so if you can, like, for me to go to the pizza place I like, I have to literally pass 2 other pizza places to get there. And it's because I have a connection, right? I walk in the door and they say, hi, Rev, right? Or they call me and go, hey, Rev, your order's ready. And one of the ways to build connections with your guests is to reply to them. Okay. Another one, business insights. I'm going to tell you one of my, you will love this story. Okay. Handcraft Burgers and Brew. I'm reading, like I said, we reply to all of our reviews. I'm starting to notice an uptick in reviews where people are telling me that the food is too salty. Now, most of the time I'm like, it's burgers and fries. It's supposed to be salty, right? Like that's the whole idea. And, you can line 100 people up on the earth and nobody's going to agree how much salt they want on anything, right? There's no curve there. So I kind of just brush it off, but it's happening like way more frequently than I expected. So after 3 or 4 days, we've gotten 5 or 6 reviews of saying it's too salty. I call my GM and I'm like, yo, Vanessa, this could be an anomaly. This could be people don't like salt like we do, but like we're getting a lot of reviews about things being too salty. And she's like, all right, I don't know. I'll go look into it. She calls me 10 minutes later. You know what she said? Our newest employee used the wrong salt in our seasoning. So instead of using kosher salt, they use table salt, which, yeah, that's way more salty. Had I not been reading my reviews, had I not been paying attention, we would have oversalted everything till that shaker was empty.
That's right.
Right. So you can get business insights from your restaurant from reading your reviews. Now, hopefully you're not getting insights that are bad, but in the case that they are, like, that's a great thing. All right. So we said that you'll get more reviews if you reply to reviews, right? You're going to create connections with your guests. You'll get business insights, right? Now, this is the one for me. Like, I just think it's the right thing to do, but this is the one when I learned this that I was like, oh, every restaurant needs to reply to reviews. When somebody searches best, whatever, pizza near me, best tacos, best whatever, Google is looking for 3 things. Okay. You've said best, a food item, and a location. And that's prominence, relevance, and distance. That's what Google calls those. And when you say best in Google, you say best whatever near me, Google is not going to show you any results with less than a 4.0 average. So if your restaurant's at a 3.7, you're never coming up in a best of search. And even if somebody doesn't say best, if anybody just says pizza near me or lunch near me or catering near me or whatever, Google's still going to rank businesses based on their reputation, right? And prominence, which again, that Google uses the word prominence, is not just about who has the most ratings, and it's not about who has the highest rating. It's who has the most recent high amount of high ratings. So it's like recent review velocity. That's a little complicated. So anyway, if you want more 5-star reviews, you got to have connection with your guests. You got to reply to reviews. You got to solicit reviews. So if you get more 5-star reviews, you come up higher in search, right? And most people don't realize this, but 67% of your guests should be coming from Google. That's 2/3. 2/3 of a restaurant guest their journey should have Google involved in it. So in that case, why would you not want to come up at the top? Okay, I know I went on long here, but I'm just going to review this real quick. Why reply to reviews? Okay, you're going to get more reviews. You're going to create connection with your guests. You're going to get business insights. You're going to come up higher in search results. And I think more importantly than all of that is, I just think that's good hospitality.
Yes, indeed. But in this conversation, one thing you touched upon, it is the tip of the iceberg, which is reviews is actually part of the bigger piece of puzzle, which is customer engagement. So in reviews cannot be a standalone thing and disconnected from your rest of the marketing. For example, I think it makes sense to solicit reviews from your loyal customers, correct? So that means you first will need to understand, who are your loyal customers based on their frequency, purchase patterns, etc. So you'll need to create a segment of loyal customers, and probably you'll need to create some sort of automation that whenever your loyal customers make next purchase, ask them for nicely ask them for a review, and you collect, and so that is one ways to boost your 5-star reviews up. That where loyal customers ask them for reviews. I think even more important is that you will need to connect the results, the insights you derive from those reviews back into your marketing. So that means understand the who are your dissatisfied customers, who are those 1-star and 2-star guys. Of course, there'll be some amount of them, but that's also an opportunity to learn how you can improve, right? So they're giving you some signals. So two things. One, you understand, as you said, what you can improve in your restaurant based on the feedbacks. Second, understand who your dissatisfied customers are, create a segment out of them, and then market back to them appropriately. Maybe send them some sort of a gesture to say that we're sorry, we couldn't give you a good experience, but how about we give you something in return. So whatever that means for you, right? I'm just saying that it's important that you are able to reach back to those customers and add that into your retention marketing strategy.
So I personally at the burger shop do not have technology where I can sort of segment those guests. Is that something Kubrick's does?
Yes, of course. That is some of the foundation principles of Kubrick's, that you should be able to gather feedback from customer and then make it part of your marketing strategy.
Well, that's really fascinating. What would be it's a quick tactic? Let's say I'm able to segment by 3 stars. We'll go back to the 3-star. What's a tactic for people that are giving me 3-star reviews? Like how would I use that segment?
Okay, so multiple ways. So one thing, the 3-star reviews, and then you can process the reviews and understand the theme of conversation. You can understand, hey, who are those customers who give you negative feedback on, let's say, food quality. So there could be multiple themes around the restaurant. It could be experience in the store, ambience, noise, food quality, customer service, employee behavior, some of the examples. So you can actually understand the theme of conversation hidden in these reviews, and then identify which are those customers who are dissatisfied with which theme, and then you can create segments out of them, and then and then you can take appropriate action. Let's say people who said about noise, right? So maybe you can give them a promotion saying that we have next time you come in, we will give an advanced reservation for the best part of the noise-free area in the restaurant. That could be a simple message going back to them. People who say ambience, maybe you can say that I'm going to give you the best private seating in the restaurant next time. So these are the ways you can take that review strategy and take it forward and connect it back to your marketing. I'm giving you some of the examples there. Then your customers feel connected. They feel they're being cared for.
Interesting. I just came up with an idea while we were talking about this. If I could actually segment my 3-star reviews in a CRM and contact those guests, you know what I would do? I would send them an offer to be a secret shopper. I would be like,
Fabulous.
hey,
Okay.
I understood that you had an okay time here last time. We would like to improve and we'd like your feedback. Your next meal's on me, so long as you give me private feedback if it wasn't good. And if it was good, maybe you could share with your friends. That is actually the play I would do.
That's very interesting tactics. Yes.
Well, because I
But
think because here's the other thing, right? People don't know this. Once somebody leaves a review on Google or Yelp, they can edit it or delete it, right? So they're not reviews are actually not forever. And we will do. You'll see me do this on Handcraft Burgers and Brew. We get like a 4-star review from somebody or 3-star review. We will say in there, what could we do to earn another star from you? And then we give them a phone number and tell them to text us. But I'm saying if somebody had an okay time, if they had a 3-star or a 4-star, I would have no problem going to them and asking, hey, what could we do to earn more? Because it's not like they had a bad time. They just didn't have an amazing time. So that's what I would do. I would turn 3s and 4s into secret shoppers.
totally makes sense that. I mean, that's some of the interesting ways how you can, change the narrative around the 3 stars and 2 stars, and then use that as an opportunity to improve upon. Actually, there has to be a little bit of, the one thing which is important is that an ability to explicitly solicit reviews, so that instead of the customers directly going to Google and give you the star, you can actually have an interface in between and then ask them the private feedback from them, which would be a golden opportunity to understand the customer feedback on the various aspects of the restaurant experience and improve upon. So that will require some sort of automation connected to your marketing platform.
So somebody places an order, you ask how it was. If they say it was good, you're like, hey, do you want to share that on Google or Yelp? If it was bad, you go,
Exactly. Yeah. If it is not, then you can actually, take appropriate action. But if it's great, then you can actually push that into Google with their permission.
You laugh. In like a pre-technology world, I used to own a bar in New York City, and we had like a 3.7 rating on Yelp, right? And people would come in and be like, I can't believe your rating is so low. This place is awesome. And one day I was like, you know what? They're right. This place is awesome. Like, people love this place. You know, if you're not sort of like encouraging your guests to leave 5-star reviews, you're gonna get more 1s and 2s, because like you said, people just want to complain. Other than that, they're like, yeah, I had a great time. Like, there's no need for me to share on Google. So you kind of have to encourage it. So you know what we did? You'll laugh. Again, this is like, we didn't even have POS in the bar. Like, that's how old school this was. We literally had a cash register. You know what I mean? My CRM was an Excel sheet. Anyway, I would teach our servers and our bartenders to literally go up to somebody before they hand them the check and go, hey, I just, before I bring the check, I just want to make sure, did you have a 5-star kind of experience? And if they said yes, we would hand them the check and go, cool, we love it when our guests share that on Google or Yelp. And we started getting more 5-star reviews. And if the guest said no, we would go, okay, what could I do to make it a 5-star experience? And they would tell you, oh, this went wrong or that went wrong. All of a sudden, we're sending free shots, or here's an order of hot wings, or let me introduce you to the manager, or whatever. And all of a sudden, it took like, I don't know, 60 days before we had a 4.2 rating, right? To the point of everything we've talked about, you have to encourage your guests, right? And it's okay to ask for more. And now I don't have to do that in the store. I can do it with good technology, right? Now I can ask every single guest. I'm not reliant on making sure the server did it. I just do it.
Yes, exactly.
God bless technology. I don't know that a lot of people know this, right? And we sort of led to it in the intro here, about the power of online reviews. Did you know that it only takes reading one negative review for 22% of people to not solicit a restaurant?
Wow, that's big number, right? That means that is like, if you have, in theory, if you have 5 or 6 such reviews recently, that means that customer acquisition will be hugely at risk then. Like, hardly anyone is going to come to restaurant. I mean, that's very much the case. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, in that case, it's like, well, look, every restaurant's going to have 1-star reviews. It happens, right? Not everybody's perfect. Not everybody's the same. It's going to happen. And so I think the move there, just again, go with the theme, what we're talking about here, is to have a reply.
Yeah.
And so, like, if I'm looking at a restaurant and they have an inordinate amount of 1-star reviews and nobody's replying to those reviews, I don't have confidence that if I go to that restaurant and something bad happens, that they're going to look after me. Right. Versus if I go look at a restaurant's reviews and I see a bunch of 1 stars and they have like a 4.5 rating, but there's some 1 stars and somebody's responded to those reviews, I know I'm going to get good hospitality. I know that they're going to take care of me in the case that something goes wrong.
Right. This is the interesting thing as a restaurant, why you have to care a lot about reviews. Your unhappy customer, they don't need any motivation to give you 1 star or 2 star. They're just going to do it by themselves. But for your happy customers, you have to motivate them. Unless you tell them, they're not going to give you a review. So there could be like 100 happy customers and 10 unhappy customers. All you could be seeing that they're like bad reviews, and then 3 or 4 of your happy customers just saying thank you. That's why it's important to ensure that you are actively soliciting in the right way to their happy customers to leave a review.
For sure. People statistics show that people are 3 times more likely to leave a negative review, to your exact point.
Yeah. And also there are like to do that, there are also ways to kind of and I've seen that restaurants do sort of gamification with their active loyal customers to leave a reviews. Like, hey, they put them into a customer journey, and then once they know that this is a loyal customer, they're happy customer, and then say, hey, give us a review, and then earn additional 300 points or something.
You want another tactic for getting more reviews from your guests?
Okay.
You're like, yes, Rev, that's why we do the show.
Yeah.
I don't know why more restaurants we do this, and I learned this from a pizza chain in the Midwest. If you once in a while in your social media content or in your email or even on your website share positive customer reviews, it incentivizes, like it incepts people do the same thing. So if you're like, okay, what's my social media plan for this month? Make sure that one of your posts on social media is highlighting a guest review, right? So these are the best darn tacos I've had, Arun, Google. And then, you say in the caption, you'd be like, hey, we love it when our guests share their thoughts on Google and Yelp. Put a link in your bio. You know what I mean? And I don't care if you're, 30,000 locations or one. I think that's a good practice.
So a few more interesting things, right? So through my data and analytics company, so we developed customer feedback processing system for one of the largest coffee chains out there. So every customer feedback, so everything which happens, it has got a real-time monitoring. So what we do is that we detect anomalies and then flag it immediately. So let's say that some part of the store, some part of the region, suddenly there is issues about crime happening in the store or some sort of food complaint happening. Whatever happens, right? Immediately that signal of conversation is being picked up. So what we do is that we capture all the signals from social media, customer feedback, surveys, and everything. Moment anything happen in real time, that signal is captured. So people immediately get to know something is going wrong, or it could be anything, any conversations happening, right? Which as soon as it gets surfaced, so that on an average, like 10% of complaint about some particular topic. So as long as that's fine. But the moment something spikes up, that's been caught through anomaly detection mechanism. So what I'm saying is that it's also, while big restaurants chains do that, I think smaller restaurants can also have the same idea. Like there could be some sort of a monitoring put in and then flag you when so exactly to your case of salty food, right? So anything anomaly happening in your restaurant, the chef change, the taste of food change, that eventually will get reflected in the customer feedback. So it's important to keep an eye on that.
There's a lot to be gained by reading your reviews. There's more to be gained by replying to them. I totally agree. Should we talk about how I think people should reply to reviews? I'm really staunch about this.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I get asked this question all the time, and legit, I've given the same answer now for probably 10 years. We did it. I used to work at a company called Yext, and we did a ton of research around this, and we developed a formula, and the formula has yet to fail me. Right. And so if you go look at all the reviews on Handcraft Burgers and Brew, you're going to see exactly what I'm about to share with you. And I think this is the perfect one for every single restaurant should follow this format. Okay. There are 5 elements to the review, to a review response. And it doesn't matter if it's negative, positive, or they just are rude and just left 5 stars and didn't say anything. This formula works every time. Okay. There are 5 elements: personalized greeting, acknowledgement, value statement, consideration and helpfulness, and personalized closing. Now, for everybody that's listening, I'm going to go over those quickly so you have to go. What did he just say? Okay, so you always start with a personalized greeting. So when somebody leaves a review, they have a screen name. So whatever their screen name was, you reply to the screen name. So if it was Arun, you would say, hi, Arun. But if your screen name was, Dr. Trees, you would say, hey, Dr. Trees. You use their screen name and you start with a personalized greeting, just like you're writing a letter. Okay. Always start with personalized greeting. The second thing is acknowledgement. Okay. This is kind of the hardest part. And what you're doing in acknowledgement is letting them know that you read what they wrote and you've digested what they said, and you basically just regurgitate it back to them. So if somebody said, these are the best darn French fries I've ever had, you would say, hey, Arun, I'm glad you really enjoyed the French fries, right? I'm acknowledging that what you said. And the same thing if it was negative. These are the worst French fries I've ever had. Hey, Arun, I'm sorry to hear you did not enjoy the French fries. Okay, so personalized greeting, acknowledgement. Now, this is the part that most restaurants leave out. And I'm going to explain what it is, and then I'm going to say why to do it. It's a value statement. Okay. And a value statement, basically, you want to put it in every single review. And the reason you do it, right, is number one, it's good for branding. But when people are looking at reviews and deciding where to eat, and they're looking at what other people wrote, and they're looking what other people said, when they see your mission statement, it's the opportunity to brand and market what's most important about your brand. So if Arun says to me, yo, Reb, you got to go check out this cheesesteak joint in Hoboken, and I go look it up because Arun said it was good and I trust Arun, and I start go looking at reviews and I see a mission statement in every single reply, I, as a guest, now know what to expect. Right. So what goes in a mission statement? I'm going to read you the Handcraft Burgers and Brew mission statement because we've worked on it for years and years, and I think it's perfect. But anyway, it says, it's our mission to bring you handcrafted, fresh, never frozen, 100% beef, gourmet smash burgers and tater tots, hand-cut French fries, and craft beers in a full hospitality style service in a quick service environment. Okay, that is a value statement. It's not a mission statement. It's a value statement. These are the things that we hold important. This is the experience we promise you. So when you put that into your reviews, you're essentially marketing to the other people reading the replies. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So personalized greeting, acknowledgement, value statement. Okay. Then this part's important too. Consideration and helpfulness. What is the action that you want them to take that aligns to their review? So if they had a negative review, you're going to do a win back, or you want to invite them back in, or you want to do my secret shopper idea with your 3 stars, you say, hey, send me an email, info at whatever, or send us a text. That's what we do. But give them a way to take an action and be considerate. Hey, I'm sorry this didn't work out so greatly. If you want to come back in the next time, French fries are on us. Just give me a call. Here's my email. Right. So it's consideration or helpfulness. Now, if it's positive, same thing. Hey, thanks again for the review. Really appreciate it. If there's some way you think we can improve, send me an email. Go to our feedback form. Here's a phone number, right? Consideration, helpfulness. And the last one, and again, I don't know why people don't do this, is a personalized closing. You go read the reviews at the hamburger shop. They're all signed by Rev. It is a person speaking to a person, right? So what am I saying here? Essentially, go write a letter. Start by reviewing or say using their name, acknowledge what they said, have a value statement, be considerate and helpful, and give a personalized closing. Now, you can templatize that. The only thing you can't templatize is the acknowledgement piece. So if every review just requires you to write one sentence, I don't see how this is a hard task. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yes. I think before we close, a few of the things where technology can help. So you can use actually AI to summarize your reviews. Hey, this is a summary of the
we do not, but I have clients who use it, and it is great. AI review response is great.
Also, you can ask questions. So we developed solutions whereby it takes 6 months reviews and say, hey, what are my top 10 customer complaints? What action should I take to improve my customer experience? So actually, AI is capable enough to give you reasonably good answer based on your reviews. You can also, of course, you can do sentiment analysis and etc. So I think if you're a small restaurant, you probably will be able to go through each and every review in person. But let's say you are a 100 or 200 store restaurant chain, it's not feasible to go through all the reviews. So then you can apply technology and then, take advantage of that.
I have a question for you. Let's say it's a multi-unit brand, 40, 50, 100, 200, 300, 500 stores.
Yeah.
Who do you think should own the responsibility of replying to reviews?
Typically, there is a customer experience team, and which works hand in hand with the marketing team, and they take care of replying to the reviews. Am I hitting the right note here?
Listen, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, but my opinion is that I think whoever is operating the store should be replying.
This is a practice I've seen in larger restaurant chains, because typically these operations are centralized, and the store manager typically focus on operations, and somebody in the back office, the centralized team, take care of responding to reviews. They might get in touch with the store manager, and for specific scenario, they might get explanations from store manager. But this is what I've been seeing. But it makes sense that store manager is the right person to respond to that.
Yeah, or the franchisee. You know what I mean? If it's your store, right? If you're a general manager, your operator, your franchisee, you need to know what's happening in the physical store, right? And we've said it umpteen times on the show. Looking at reviews gives you a really good snapshot of what's happening, right? And so if you're not in the store every day, replying to reviews and reading your reviews is a great way to know what's happening in the store, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I think, again, if you're a 500 unit chain or more, 30 unit chain, 5 unit chain, I think the marketing department should create the reputation management strategy.
Yes.
They should be writing all these things, but I think that the operator should be the one replying.
Exactly. That's right.
I think that just makes good marketing sense. We've kind of gone a lot around Robin here. Anything else you want to discuss before we sort of wrap it up? Because I can talk about this topic all day long.
I think that's all, Rob.
All right, listen. If you sat through this show for 30 minutes and you're still not convinced that you need to reply to reviews, send me or Arun a message, please. We're happy to give you some therapy. But what I really hope is that you listen to this episode and we either convinced you or at least gave you a strategy of how to get more reviews and what to do with them and how to reply, because it's really, really valuable, right?
I think the bottom line of this episode is don't ignore your reviews. Pay attention. I think that's the bottom line we want to tell you.
Yeah, I saw a multi-unit operator on social media the other day go, "We're not replying to negative reviews anymore." And I was like, well, then I'm not going to eat at your restaurant, because you just told me that if something goes wrong, I can piss off.
Yeah.
Totally the wrong stance. All right. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole any further. Hey, thank you everybody for joining us. If you enjoyed this conversation, can you please reply to all of your reviews? Haha. Also, please share this episode with a friend who might find it helpful. And please remember to give us a rating right now. We have to, on a show where we talk about reputation management, we have to ask for reviews, right? That only makes sense. We got to live up. Okay, that helps us to spread the word to others who might find this valuable like you do. Now, in the next episode, we're going to talk about customer segmentation, why it's important to segment, how to segment, what to do with those segments. Finally, what's the impact of segments on your business. I'm going to nerd out on that show. Arun here is like a segment master. So we may go 3 hours because I have a billion segment questions. But tune in next time, customer segmentation. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss out on a single episode from us.